Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and today we're talking about a new ColourPop collection that is launching on Thursday, April 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, so check your time zones. This is the Let's Roll collection. It's all got this retro roller skate theme that's very cute, very colorful. I grew up going to the roller skating rink when I was a kid, so I definitely love this nostalgia, even though technically, I don't know, are the 90s retro? Maybe. I was a kid in the 90s. I don't know what qualifies as retro, but this whole collection definitely has sort of that retro, what I think of like retro 70s type of theming. There is a full collection set. It should be priced around $110. Sometimes they do like to change the price after I've already received my information. So, always take this pre-info with a grain of salt because I'm giving you the most accurate info I have, but sometimes they do like to switch it up a little bit. And I do know that affiliate codes will work on this collection. You can always use my code. It's just my first name, Amanda, and that will save you 10% on most things on the ColourPop site. Thank you so much to everybody who does choose to support the channel in that way. It definitely makes a big difference for me, so I appreciate it. And if you're not down with that, that's okay too. I'm just glad that you're here watching and hanging out with us. We have a lot of pieces in this collection to go through. I want to show you close-ups, give you the prices, give you the swatches, and we're going to do a few palette comparisons as well. I will open up my Instagram stories for comparisons for like the Super Shocks, eyeshadows, blushes, all that good stuff in the next few days whenever I have a few free hours to do that. So keep an eye on the Makeup.Just.For.Fun Instagram, and those will be saved in a story highlight. If you miss the request period, you'll still be able to see the comparisons that I did previously. So let's start with the soul body items. We do have two soul body items. First is this dry shimmering oil mini. This is in the shade Role Play, and the minis are priced at $10 each. This does have really cool, colorful, reflective packaging. Everything definitely has a bit of a festival vibe with the rainbows and the iridescent. And this is typically the time of year when they would release their festival themed collection. So it makes sense that we're getting something really fun and colorful and super, super sparkly at this point in the springtime. I really like the purple iridescence of both of the Soul body products. It's a little bit more silvery here with the oil, and I have this pretty concentrated so that you can see the color, but once this is worn sheared out on the skin, it's actually pretty wearable, especially looks great on the shoulders and chest area when you're wearing those cute little summer outfits. Next, we're going to look at the Soul Body Shimmering Powder Mini. This is going to be priced at $12. Love the packaging. It's so reflective, so colorful, super fun, and it coordinates perfectly with this reflective, colorful, fun body powder. This blue-based purple iridescent shade is called High Roller, and I wanted to give you the live swatch here so you could see what this looks like really intensified, and also once it's worn a little bit more sheared out on the skin. I think this would be so pretty on the face, on the eyes. I absolutely love this. It's one of my top picks from this collection. We also have a few sets of face crystals. This is part of what gives me such a festival vibe. We have a iridescent white, pink, and orange set, and then we have the iridescent blue and kind of like a deep berry color set. These are priced at $7 a piece. Next up, we have 3 So Juicy glosses. These are priced at $8 each, or you can get the set of 3 for $21. They have special packaging to match the collection on the outside, but the actual gloss tubes themselves don't have any sort of special theming. They're the same shape, size, same type of applicator, same minty scent as all of the other So Juicy glosses. They do have the shade names on little stickers on the back here. And then each one has a color coordinating top. Now, these are all very, very sparkly. They look more colorful in the tube than they actually appear on the lips. You can kind of see the color more differentiated when they're swatched on my arm, but overall they definitely just have a very shiny, very sparkly look on the lips. I'm not a huge sparkly gloss girl, so these really aren't for me, but I think they fit well in the collection. They also work nicely with the Soul Body products, so I'm not mad at them. It's just not really my top pick. Now, speaking of top picks, Super Shock Cheeks, $8 a piece. I love these. I love the special packaging on the outer box. I love the special packaging on the printed on the lid of the little screw top pot. There's little details inside with the little rainbow peekaboo. Everything about these just makes me genuinely so happy. I love that we're getting these iridescent details on the lid. I love that we're getting such bright, fun blush colors. That's something that I've been mentioning a lot in my reviews recently, was wanting to see a little something extra, a little something out of the box on the cheek colors. And you know, this one 360 degrees is pretty straight up basic, all laced up, kind of a peachy basic, but this one called Jump Turn is a bright, like hot pink orchid type of color. I love it so much. This is going to look good on so many different skin tones. You can wear it really sheared out for an interesting flush of color. You can really build it up for a really dramatic cheek look. All of these have a pearlized finish, so they add a little sheen without adding any glitter or sparkle to the cheeks. Love them, love them. Among my top picks for this collection, alongside the Super Shock shadows. These are going to come in duos for $10 a piece. I love all things Super Shock. That should not be surprising. I love to see some bright new colors. These are great springtime colors. They also coordinate really nicely with the lip and cheek colors. I do want to point out, just like all the Super Shock cheeks were the pearlized finish, all of these Super Shock shadows are the ultra glitter finish. We've mentioned this a few times recently on the channel, but it seems like all they come out with now are these ultra glitter Super Shocks, and a lot of us are really missing the metallics and the satins and even the mattes. They weren't my favorite, but I would just like to see that variety come back. Even so, I absolutely love all of these Super Shock colors. They are great for spring. They're so fun and bold and bright. And I will be doing some comparisons with these over on my Instagram. But I do think these are probably going to turn out to be fairly unique. We may be able to find a couple that are close, but these do seem to be pretty special, especially that really pale minty green is just really calling to me for springtime. I can actually see a fun look using all four of these. I do like these Super Shock duos more than the eyeshadow palette that's in this collection. So why don't we head on over to the Let's Roll palette and take a look at that. This is a 10 pan eyeshadow palette. It's priced at $16 and it does have this really fun packaging. I'm not gonna lie, I love this styling. Something about it is just really fun. It's really bright and bold. Take note here, this is a pressed powder palette and not a pressed eyeshadow palette. There are a couple of pigments in here, so you can see the little warnings. I definitely recommend patch testing. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I will link my wine collection video below so that you can learn about patch testing, why to do it, what it means, all that good stuff. This palette is a heavy-duty cardboard palette. It has a magnetic closure. There's no mirror inside, and this does have the larger eyeshadow pans. So this one has the exact same dimensions as the Roaring Hearts palette. Now, when we take a look inside, like I said, no mirror here. We do have a variety of finishes. That very first bright white shade is a Super Shock shadow. Then the rest of the top row are just straight up regular metallic shimmers. And then on the bottom row, we have 3 mattes and then 2 mattes with glitter. I think it's pretty obvious which ones are which just from looking at them in the pans. All 3 of the matte shades on the bottom row are the pressed pigment shades, so those are the ones that you need to patch test, especially if you've shown any sort of reaction, allergic reaction to pigments in the past. It's always just a smart move, even if you're not sure. Here are some swatches. First, we have finger swatches on top, brush swatches below, and I just want to give you a close-up look at these. These are the shadows straight onto my skin with no primer. I just use a dry, plain flat brush for the brush swatches. And I want to make sure you get a really close-up look at the textures here and how the different application methods affect the performance. As you can see, this shade called Pivot looks way different applied with a brush versus with the finger application. Now, I'm going to show you a few comparisons. I don't have a ton of comparisons, but I do think these are very notable. First, the Fade into Hue palette, surprisingly more similar than I thought it was going to be. A couple of shades and finishes are a little off here and there, but overall, very, very close matches. Next, I'm going to show you the Glamlite Ice Cream Dream palette comparisons. Another pretty similar look here. We are missing that silvery shade, and again, some of the tones and finishes are a little bit off here and there, but a lot of similar looks coming from these palettes for sure. Now, this last one, the Powerpuff Girls palette, I was racking my brain trying to figure out, what does this Let's Roll palette remind me of? And as I was like leafing through my palette collection, I landed upon this one, and look how freakishly similar these color stories are. It didn't even occur to me at first because I never thought of Powerpuff Girls palette as a rainbow palette, and Let's Roll, the packaging just makes you think it's a rainbow palette. These are strikingly similar in color story. When you put them side by side, it becomes a little bit more apparent. Are they exactly the same? No, obviously, of course they're not, but they do have the large pans, colorful, like cutesy packaging. So that's what I was trying to think of. It's the Powerpuff Girls palette that it's really similar to. So all in all, everything is nice performance-wise. Everything's really on par for what I expect from ColourPop. Personally, my top picks are the Super Shock products, particularly the eyeshadow duos and that bright purpley blush called Jump Turn. I also like the Soul Body powder, the high roller powder. I can see that being really useful either for a fun face and body highlighter or for a really cute eyeshadow powder as well. So those are my top picks. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this collection. Are you interested? Are you going to be picking anything up? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! And also, don't forget I love your face, okay? Bye for real, bye!